June, I'm going to attempt to break 64 minutes in the half marathon. Even coming off running 2:18 in the full marathon in December, this is a very aggressive goal for me. To get ready for that goal, I'm training really intentionally right now and prepping for some shorter races in the first half of 2025. Today, I'm going to show you guys what a full week of my current training looks like, including how I'm working on my speed, strength, and endurance, all without getting anywhere near that elusive 100 mile per week barrier. So many distance runners believe the best way to get better at running is by running very high mileage constantly. There's definitely some merit to that belief, but after a few months of guidance under my current coach, I've really learned from experience that mileage truly isn't everything. There's a whole lot more that goes into a balanced training week, and I'm going to take you guys through some of that today in this video. Right now it's Sunday night. I like to think of Mondays as the start of my training week and Sundays as the end of the week, so I will catch you guys tomorrow morning for a run bright and early before I go into work. Oh, it's cold. I'm about to start my run. It's like 5:15 in the morning and completely dark out, so I'm not gonna bring my camera. We'll do some filming later. Just finished up the run. Good one. Felt really good today, actually, which is always nice because Monday mornings can definitely be hit or miss depending on how Sundays go. Standard, easy, 6 miles. Usually for my easy days, I pay pretty close attention to my heart rate. I just think it makes sense to go on a number that is related to how your body's feeling rather than just pace. For my easy runs, I usually like to be in the range of anywhere from 130 beats per minute up to like low 140s. Pretty much no matter how I'm feeling, I will always slow down to keep it under 150 on days that, you know, it's a little higher, I'm not feeling as good. But yeah, today was nice. I had a feel good run. I ran 6 miles, average 6:55 pace and 137 beats per minute. So very standard. I almost always run between 6:50 pace and 7-minute pace for the routes that I run around here. And that's like, you know, kind of a really standard heart rate as well. So yeah. Very typical day right now. Right now it's about 6:15. Now I'm gonna spend the rest of the morning just getting ready and heading into work. So gonna cook up some breakfast. I usually have a bagel or bread with eggs and usually throw some spinach in there. Just a good way to start the day. I get into work basically any time between the earliest, maybe 6:45, and the latest, usually about 7:30. But I do have pretty flexible hours, so you know, on days where I have bigger workouts in the morning, I can go in a little closer to 8. And on days where maybe the weather's terrible in the morning and I want to run in the afternoon, I do have the flexibility to go into work early and leave earlier. Very grateful for that. It's now Tuesday afternoon, a little bit after 4 p.m., just getting off work. Tuesday is normally a big setup day for me. I normally do my first workout of the weeks on Wednesdays. So Tuesday is an easy run, usually followed by some strides to get ready for that. This morning, it was low 20 degrees. I wasn't really feeling like running in the cold, so I did my easy run on the treadmill. Was supposed to have 8 miles for the day. I ended up doing 7 miles continuously easy on the treadmill, and then switched shoes, and then hopped outside to do my strides on the street. I really like the treadmill for easy running especially. I think there's a lot of benefits to being able to just keep everything really controlled. Similar to yesterday, very standard numbers today. I ran about 6:55 pace and somewhere around 135 beats per minute. You'll notice only about 14 miles, slightly less because I didn't do a full mile worth of strides on the week so far. One of the things that I've learned over the last few months of training is how to get more bang for your buck, basically, with easy miles. And one of the biggest things there for me is with shoe choice. Some of you guys who've been watching my videos recently may feel like I'm repeating myself a bunch. I have spent a lot more time running recently in flatter, thinner, firmer, more traditional shoes for my easy runs. I feel like when I do runs in those types of shoes, I force myself to use my legs more to absorb the impact of my running, rather than relying on highly cushioned or advanced geometry shoes. Today I ran my easy run in the Pegasus 41. By modern standards, this is a very traditional shoe, although of course, you know, if you compare it to stuff from a few years ago, it's definitely still gonna be more cushioned and have more technology inside of it. I really like wearing shoes like this on the treadmill, especially because it's super easy to
dial in on my foot strike and really make sure I'm landing with good form and using the correct muscles in my legs while I'm running. Basically just training myself to get better and more efficient at the active running. You guys know I've been using the COROS Pod 2 more often recently. One of the things that I've been tracking is my left-right balance, and today that was really good for me. Ideally, you're spending, equal amounts of time, 50-50 on both your left and right foot. Today for me, it was one of the closest it's always been to 50-50 during my easy run, and that's because I was putting a slight mental effort in towards making sure I was being snappy off my left foot on the ground. Normally I leave my left foot on the ground longer than my right foot. Again, getting more bang for my buck for miles. I'm not necessarily feeling a need to pile on the easy miles right now if I'm getting higher quality miles under my legs on these easy days. For my strides today, I wore the Adidas Adios 9. It is a more traditional racing flat. I really like those for doing strides. I feel like they kind of force you to have good form, and they don't really reward you at all unless you're running very efficiently. And that's exactly what I want out of a shoe for strides. So yeah, Turnover Tuesday, big setup day for my Wednesday workouts. Nothing too crazy other than that. Happy Workout Wednesday, everybody. I finished my first workout of the week about 45 minutes ago, and it ended up being a really good one. Honestly, probably the best one so far in 2025. The plan for today's workout was to do a 1K in somewhere between 250 and 255, take 2 minutes rest, then do 4 to 5 miles between 450 and 5-minute pace with 60 seconds rest, and then another 1K somewhere between 250 and 240. The real focus of today's workout was on those 2 1K reps, with the main goal being to run the second rep faster than the first one after putting some fatigue in the legs with the threshold effort miles in the middle. I wore probably my favorite shoes right now, the Asics Metaspeed Edge, for this workout. I'm working super shoes back into my rotation at this stage of the year because I'm racing again in about a month, and I find a lot of value in practicing running race pace or close to race pace in racing shoes in practice. I think it really helps build that rhythm with my mechanics. So when race day comes along, my body basically just knows what to do. I ended up running my first 1K of the workout in 2:48, so significantly faster than planned. However, this rep did feel really good, and I was super happy with that. For the miles, I ended up doing 4, and I think I ran 455, 456, 454, and 452, so pretty much right on the money for those. My coach did give me the option to run a 5th mile if I was feeling really amazing, and at this point I was feeling excellent. However, because I had already ran too fast on that first 1K, I decided to keep it at 4 miles just to make sure I could still run a really good last 1K for the workout. I ended up running 2:47 for the last 1K. Probably would have liked to run slightly faster on that. However, this was still an excellent workout overall. I was super uncomfortable running anything faster than about 5-minute pace only about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm super happy to be feeling comfortable running faster paces again, heading into my first race of the year in about a month. I did a 2-mile warm-up and about a 2-mile cool-down for this workout to get a total of 10 miles on the day. Did those warm-up and cool-down miles in the Pegasus 41 for all the reasons that I talked about yesterday. Normally on Wednesdays, I work out in the morning and do my first lift of the week in the afternoons. However, since today I worked out in the afternoon, I'm doing my first lift of the week after my easy run tomorrow morning. Super happy with today overall. Wednesday is really when my week starts to pick up, and I honestly think of my weeks in terms of like a big block between Wednesday and Sunday, with Monday and Tuesday being setup days to get ready for that. Now it is Thursday evening. This morning I had a 6-mile easy run on the treadmill followed by my first lift of the week. I woke up with my legs feeling really good, so I opted to run in the Pegasus 41 again. Ended up feeling really good during the run. Sometimes I will opt for a more max cushion shoe for my Thursday runs. It really kind of just depends on if I feel like my legs need a little more help coming off of a big workout or lift. The run was great, but this morning really truly was all about the lift. My coach is a PT and gives me all of my strength training, so it is very tailored towards making me a stronger, healthier, and more efficient runner. One of my biggest differences between my college training and now is that I prioritize my lifts equally to my workout days. I think my 2 lifts for the week are 2 of my most important sessions, so I really try to do all of my exercises with good form, and I try to work on progressing the weight up from week to week. My lifts are different every single week, and they're probably the one aspect of my training that I don't like to be as public about with all of the little details. I think it's a key part of the magic behind my coach's training philosophy, and I just don't feel like it's my place to give away all of those secrets. That being said, I will go over the general structure of the lift that I had today for you guys. I started out with a couple of sets of standing clamshells and slow single leg calf raises as a bit of a warm-up set. Then I got into the first main set of the lift, which included 3 sets of deadlifts, single leg broad jumps, and weighted single leg calf raises. For heavyweight exercises like those deadlifts and the calf raises, I always try to increase the weight through each set. The second main set of the lift included some sled pushes and pulls, some lateral jumps, and some Copenhagen planks. Regardless of whether or not I lift on Wednesday or Thursday, Thursdays are typically a big recovery day for me. I will have another quality session on deck tomorrow, so it's really important for me to prioritize recovering from my Wednesday workout, the lift this morning, to get ready for that run tomorrow. I think stretching and rolling especially is really important, and recently I got an email from a company named RHEOFIT asking me if I was interested in testing out a new product of theirs. It's an automated roller called the RHEOFIT A1. Of course, I said absolutely, I'm super interested in running tech. So basically the way that this thing works is that you have full control over everything the roller does through an app on your phone. All you need to do is just lay down on the ground and it does all the work for you. It eliminates all the hassle of having to move your body into awkward positions to hit certain muscle groups. You can set 2 points for it to roll between, you can set focus points for it to dig a little bit deeper, and you can adjust the speeds that it rolls at. I've been using this for a few weeks now, and I can honestly say that it is a fantastic product. Now, I think it really does help me out with the quick turnover between quality days during my training week. This video is not sponsored by RHEOFIT, and all these opinions are my honest ones and my own. I'm honestly just super grateful that they offered to send me this product, and I can genuinely recommend it to you guys because it is really fun and really easy and really great to use. If you guys do want to check out the A1 roller, I will put a link to RHEOFIT's website in the description of this video. I'm going to talk about Friday and Saturday together because Saturday was super simple and doesn't really need a full section. Friday was my second quality session of the week. I had an 8-mile aerobic run followed by 6 10-second hill sprints. For me, there's a difference between the terms easy and aerobic when it comes to my running. So my definition of aerobic is basically what most people would call zone 2. I typically pace these runs based on my heart rate data, and I aim to be anywhere in the range of high 140s to mid 150s. I'll usually rein things in if my heart rate starts to get over 160. Today, I did this run on the treadmill, kept it nice and flat and controlled. I really like to do these types of runs on the treadmill because I am targeting a very specific heart rate zone, but also trying to progress that pace from week to week. So doing these on the treadmill in the controlled environment really helps me dial in on that correct effort and pace. Today, I ended up averaging 544 pace and 152 beats per minute for the 8-mile run. Absolutely perfect run, to be honest. Over the last month or so, I've seen both my average pace and my average heart rate go down for these types of efforts, and that's really promising and exciting to see that kind of progress happen right in front of me. I ran in the Hoka Mach 6 for this run. It's got a nice responsive foam, it's pretty lightweight and flexible. It's a pretty standard daily trainer, but it definitely shines when you pick up the pace a little bit, and I think it's a good step up between something like a Pegasus without going all the way to a full-blown super trainer. After the aerobic effort on the treadmill, I switched shoes into the Adios 9 and headed outside to do 6 10-second hill sprints. The goal with these was to run them all out, like completely all out, max effort as fast as I could go. I've never trained anywhere close to true full out sprints in the past, and to be honest, it's been really difficult for me to actually push myself to get to that point of actually running true max effort. I've gotten a lot better at it over the last few weeks, both in terms of running faster and pushing my body to that level of fatigue in such a short amount of time. Definitely having fun with these types of sprints, and it feels like a very productive way to work on my top end speed, my explosiveness, and my mechanics in general. It's Saturday right now, and this morning I just had a 6-mile easy run. I averaged, I think, about 655 pace and around 135 beats per minute. Very standard, similar to the easy runs I did earlier this week. Today I was feeling a little bit of residual tightness from the heavyweight calf raises that I did earlier on Thursday, so I ended up wearing the Saucony Triumph 22 for this run to give myself a little bit more cushion going into tomorrow's long run. I haven't been wearing max cushion shoes as often recently, so whenever I do put them on, they feel really, really good, and today was one of those days. Similar to Tuesdays, Saturdays are also a very big setup for me. Pretty much every single week, Sunday is my biggest training day. I usually do a long run that includes some type of a workout, and I lift afterwards. So I always try to take Saturday easy, both in terms of the run and how I spend my free time during the day to make sure I'm really fully ready to go for Sunday's sessions. Hey, bud. Oh my gosh. Come here. It's finally Sunday evening. I had a really big training day to cap off the week with both a long run workout and a lift. The workout on deck for this morning was a 4 to 5 mile warm up with then 2 2-mile reps in about 4:50 to 5 minute pace, and then 2 1-mile reps between 4:40 and 4:45 pace with 2 to 3 minutes rest between everything, and then a cool down to hit 14 total miles on the day. I felt really good on the 2-mile reps and ended up running 9:48 for the first one and 9:46 for the second one, so slightly on the faster end of what I was prescribed. On the jogging rest after the second 2-mile rep, I started to get really tired, and that feeling didn't really go away from then on out. I started feeling really heavy-legged about a lap into the first 1-mile rep and ended up coming through in 4:58, so much slower than the prescribed pace. From there, I heavily considered just cutting the workout short because I was pretty wiped, but I decided to keep going and split up the last 1 mile into 2 800s to still get the volume in, even if it wasn't an ideal situation. I ended up running 2:26 and 2:21 for both of those, so was able to rally the pace back a little bit. It was definitely a little bit of a bummer to modify those last 2 reps, but overall I was still very happy with the workout because the 2-mile reps went really well, especially coming off of an already pretty big week of training. One of the most useful COROS watch features is their track mode. It lets you select which lane you're running in and then gives you greatly improved GPS pacing data based on that selection. I did my 2-mile reps in lane 7 going the opposite direction on the track. So for stuff like this, when I'm doing reps in lane 7, I can actually trust when my watch beeps at the mile and 2-mile marks rather than having to calculate exactly how many laps I need to run to hit 2 miles on the dot. Another really great thing about track mode is that you can switch your lane selection in the middle of your workout. So I did my 1-mile rep and the 2 800s in lane 1, and I was able to very quickly switch the setting on my watch to go from lane 7 to lane 1 and then get accurate pacing data for the second set of my workout. I'm sure everybody has had the experience of running mile reps on the track and your watch beeping 50 or 100 meters short. COROS track mode eliminates that problem, and it's really nice to be able to have reliable pacing when running on the track. If you guys are interested in purchasing a new GPS watch, you can get a free watch band with any COROS watch purchase using my code that you see here on the screen. I'm a huge fan of COROS, and I've been wearing their stuff since long before we became partners, so of course I'm very, very thankful to have their continued support on this channel. This afternoon, I had my second lift of the week. I usually like to take a couple hours between my long run and my lift to recover, refuel, and rest a little bit just to make sure my body's feeling ready to go again for my second session. And that's exactly what I did today and ended up having a really good session in the weight room. Today's lift had 3 main sets to it. The first included some single leg presses, some single leg calf presses, and some lateral resisted toe taps. The second set included some stability ball Captain Morgans, some RDL marches, and some down to up box jumps. I really like this kind of plyometric stuff like the box jumps, and I feel like I made a ton of progress as a runner since I started implementing both heavyweight lifting and plyometric lifts at the same time. The last set of the lift was a core circuit including some front planks, some side plank hip dips, and some V-ups. With the end of that lift, I am finally done with the end of this week of training. This was probably my best week of training so far for the year, and it was my highest mileage week since CIM, hitting 58 miles total for the week. Like I said at the beginning of this video, the main goal that I'm training for right now is breaking 64 minutes in the half marathon in June. That half marathon goal is part of an even longer term plan to qualify for the 2028 Olympic trials in the marathon. I'm training to make jumps to reach an elite level in long distance road racing, and I'm still not anywhere close to running what most elite runners would consider to be high mileage right now. Even without running high mileage right now, I'm making huge progress in all 3 departments of speed, strength, and endurance. Could I be making similar progress running 100 miles a week? Maybe, but running high mileage like that takes a lot of energy and can take a huge toll on the body. So I think I'm setting myself up for much greater success in the long term by holding off on that high volume training right now and focusing on a lower volume, higher intensity approach. I absolutely will be getting my mileage up as I get into my dedicated 12-week half marathon build closer to June, and especially when I eventually do get ready to race another marathon. But right now, it's just way more important that I lay a rock solid foundation with really strong fundamentals so I can actually absorb the full effect of high volume training when it really matters. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed getting a lot of details about my training philosophy. I love talking about this stuff, and it was super fun to put put together this video for you guys this week. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any thoughts or questions about anything I discussed in this video, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content from me moving forward. As always, thank you all for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.